Folks, welcome back to another episode of Fowl Players Radio. My name is Michael Spedden, and tonight we're welcoming back. This is probably the third or fourth time I've had them. The Chorus of the Chesapeake. We welcome tonight. Joining us is Bill Day, the Vice President of Public Relations, and Joe Gier, the Vice President of Chapter Development. We talked about how the Chorus survived COVID, the upcoming bull roast and other events that are happening this year, and where rehearsals are for those who may be interested in joining, and much more. The Chorus of the Chesapeake is holding a bull and shrimp roast on Saturday, May 14th, 2022, from 1 to 5 in the afternoon at the Superior Catering Hall, 1010 South Oldham Street in Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Tickets are $50, and to order tickets, please call Bob Mattis at 410-435-1947. The Chorus also rehearses on the second, third, and fourth, and possibly fifth Tuesdays of every month, just not the first Tuesday, at the American Legion Post 38 in Dundalk, Maryland, 3300 Dundalk Avenue at 7:30 p.m. If you're interested in singing, don't be shy. Come on out. You'll have a great time with a great group of guys. For more information on the Chorus of the Chesapeake, please see www.dundalk.org. The Fowl Players of Perryville are now booking shows for 2022 and beyond. We have some shows coming up on Maryland Party Boat and Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. For more information, please call me at 443-600-0446 or go to www.fowlplayersofperryville.com. Subscribe for free at www.fowlplayersradio.com or wherever you find podcasts online. No matter what platform you listen on, you can help us greatly by giving us a fair review and a 5-star rating. Also, be sure to visit our page on patreon.com, patreon.com/foulplayersradio. And you can also see our shows now on YouTube. If listening isn't enough for you, you get to see my beautiful face and my guests. Go to the Fowl Players channel, Fowl Players Radio channel on YouTube. We'll be right back with the Chorus of the Chesapeake. And folks, welcome back to another episode of Fowl Players Radio. And again, tonight we're bringing back some more past guests to come back and see us again here. We have Bill Day, Vice President of Publicity, and Joe Gier, Vice President of Chapter Development of the Chorus of the Chesapeake. I think this is probably the fourth time, at least the third or fourth time the Chorus has been on to promote themselves and to let people know what's going on. So welcome back, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike, for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're kind of crawling out of the ashes of COVID. There are a lot of organizations out there, and especially, that put, the Chorus at a disadvantage. The fact that it's a singing organization, COVID really, I think that was probably considered one of the least safe things you could do during COVID. So a lot of
super spreaders.
Yeah,
actually.
Right. So, we're coming back. You're coming back now from the ashes, getting back together and everything. So what's going on? I know we've missed some shows and some special events, some, public appearances and everything. So what are we kind of doing to right the ship here?
Well, first, one of the things that's going on, we've obviously missed a couple of annual shows because of COVID, and the venues that we've contacted have limited seating and so forth. So we really had to sort of step back from that. However, we are planning to have an annual show in 2022. And one of the things that we are tentatively planning to do is something that Joe Gier, my colleague here, started a couple of years ago. We're going to try to tie it in and do a holiday show and tie in Toys for Tots. And we have to work out the details for that, but that's one of the things that we're going to do. We're starting to get back into rehearsal mode in person. In fact, tomorrow night is the first time that we've been able to get together since December. And one of the big events that happens in the early summer, as you well know, is the Dundalk Heritage Fair, which is the celebration of the 4th of July. So over that weekend, we'll do that. And we also have tentative plans to perform the national anthems for the United States and Canada at an Orioles game on September 5th, which is Labor Day. So we're trying to ramp up those kinds of singing activities. And obviously, one of the things that we want to promote tonight is any man who would want to possibly want to sing, enjoy singing, come down and see us. And we meet at the Dundalk VFW Hall, which is on Pine Avenue, but it's actually right off Dundalk Avenue. You just come straight down Dundalk Avenue. You can't miss it. It's on the right-hand side. And we meet every Tuesday night, except the first Tuesday of the month from 7:30 to 9:30. So that's pretty much what's going on. And obviously, we expect that there will be some paid performances coming up that we'll be involved with over the next few months as well. So that's pretty much what's going on right now, Mike.
That's great. That's great. It's a very welcoming atmosphere. I will just say, from speaking for myself, my grandfather, as we were talking about before, and you mentioned, was a charter member and sang with the chorus literally until the day he passed away. And I joined a couple of years ago. I had always wanted to do it, and when I came in, and even though, everybody knew my grandfather, a lot of people knew my grandfather, even if they didn't, I've seen other people come in and everybody's very welcoming, and it's a good time for everybody. That was my experience coming in. Everybody was very welcoming. They gave you everything you needed to have, showed you some ropes. A couple times when I was going a little astray in my singing and pitch and everything, I was kind of pulled aside and showed the right way. What was it like joining for you two? I know you two have been around a bit longer than I have. Was that kind of your experience as well?
Why don't you go ahead, Joe?
Well, I joined. I've been a member for about 5 years, and I came in with a member who brought me down, and immediately I just fell in love with it. I mean, I can't say that I never missed a meeting after that, unless I was sick. Let's put it that way. No, it's a good bunch of people. It's a lot of fun. You do learn about music. That's probably what I can say. If you like singing, I think that's the place to go, because it's a lot of experience there.
Well, I joined in 1981, so I guess I'm the oldster here. And what I recall was that just the welcoming that I received. And I mentioned this before we started this session, that your grandfather, Ken Lawton, sort of took me under his wing and did the things that Joe just addressed, made sure I was very comfortable with getting the music, making sure I had the uniforms and all those sorts of things. And one of the things that I might add, I'm not a trained singer. I learned my music by listening to it. And that ties into what I'm going to say. When a man comes down to us, there's no expectation on our part. And we do not require an audition. If a man knows which part he would sing, either lead, which is the melody, tenor, bass, or baritone, if he already knows that's what he wants to sing, he's put in that section and he gets a buddy and everything's taken care of. If the man isn't sure, one of our directors or a section leader will ask him just to sing a simple song like Happy Birthday. And from that, they'll be able to say, you know something, Bill, you're a baritone. You should go to the baritone section, or you're a bass. Mike, when you joined, you knew you were a bass.
Right,
so you
right.
Right away gravitated to the bass section.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys then, as you said, we sort of come full circle on this, took care of you from that standpoint. Nowadays, when you come in, of course, we have the wherewithal to provide technology. So you have learning tracks for your part, and the sheet music can be given to you, a copy of it, as well as seeing it online. Just all kinds of ways to try to make you feel comfortable and encourage you to participate. So it's a very easy process. And as Joe said, we'd encourage any man that wants to join a great hobby, come see us. And can I plug where we meet? Would that
Oh
be
yeah,
okay
go right
at this
ahead.
time?
Everything and anything.
All right, right now, we're currently meeting at the Dundalk VFW, post 6694, which is on Pine Avenue. Now that might be a little misleading, but it's right off Dundalk Avenue. You just keep going right on down Dundalk Avenue. It's almost at the end of it, isn't it? And then it's on the right-hand side. And very clearly can you see it as you come down Dundalk Avenue. And we meet every Tuesday night, except the first Tuesday of the month, from 7:30 to 9:30. And I might mention, we've been blessed over the years of having some great directors. Our musical leadership team is just first class. And right now, currently, Kevin King, who's the son of the great Fred King, is our director. And what a musician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around so long, and I learn something every week that I go. So
yeah, Kevin's amazing. I mean, he's very, very well experienced, taught in schools for many years, and has been around the chorus, I think, practically his entire life, with his father and the chorus and doing various quartets and everything over the years. I mean, and he's just such a wealth of knowledge. Everything, every week, and you're right, I feel the same way too. I learn a lot every week while I'm there. A lot of the things, not only when it comes to singing, but when it comes to the mechanics of it, the proper warm-ups, the breath control, when to breathe, when not to breathe, how to pronounce the words that are coming out. And I will also say too, to kind of piggyback on a point that we had mentioned before, some people, have said, that they heard the chorus and it's such a mighty sound, from the time when I was a kid watching my grandfather do it, when you guys were cramming 150 people into the stage at the Heritage Fair and at the Lyric Theater for the May shows, to the time now when we got about 50 some that usually come out for performances. And I tell you what, we pretty much, if there was a roof on Camden Yards, we would have blown it off singing those national anthems. I mean, just the wonderful sound of these 4-part harmonies, and it's just so strong. And these, the songs that we sing, are well chosen to really kind of show off these 4-part harmonies and everything. Now, some people may be shy, because one thing that I've heard over the years is the one sound that a lot of people hate is the sound of their own voice. And some people are actually, whenever they hear recordings of themselves, like, oh my God, is that me? But I tell you what, when you go in here, you don't have to know you don't have to know how to sing. Again, people will show you things bit by bit, and week by week, you'll grow in it and everything, to the point where you're really a lot more confident in what you're doing.
Yep, absolutely.
I agree. You also blend. So your voice you're not, singing alone. And by singing with other people, it makes it much easier.
Right. Right.
Even if you're a little standoffish or shy, when you join with your partner, there's 8 people singing the same as you, you enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's also a lot of fun activities that we have. Not only is it a singing organization, but also a social organization.
That's correct.
At the American Legion, after we sing, afterwards, there's a little watering hole attached to it.
A little afterglow.
We go over and we talk and get a chance to socialize. Yep. And there's some singing going on in there as well, but you get a chance to have a bite to eat and chat with everybody. And I think, people get along in our chapter.
I was going to say, one of the things that's amazing, in the 40 some years that I have been a member, is just how well everybody gets along, from the old timers to the newest guys.
Right. Right.
It's really a great hobby, and you put into it what you can.
Right. Right.
I mean, there've been years when I was working that I couldn't be there every time. But I tried to be there when I could.
Right.
and was
Right.
able to participate in shows and competitions and things like that. And it just meant a lot. And if I missed a few rehearsals and I came in, the guys didn't care as long as I could carry the part that I was supposed to sing, which,
Sure.
that's what it's about.
That's
Sure.
right.
Yep. And the people are not at all cliquish either.
No.
Everybody is pretty much one night, if you are, what I would say is that when we have our bull roasts and things like that, you can go in and sit down at any table.
True.
And even with the afterglows after our rehearsals, you can go sit down and enjoy a drink and a little bite to eat with just about anybody in the chorus, and it's, you're always welcome. It's not like, there's a bunch of silos. They say, we've built a community within the chorus. It's not a bunch of silos or a bunch of cliques, this group and that group. It's, everybody is together.
Very true.
Yeah. Yep. So tell me, you had mentioned, that we have a bull roast coming up. We have been, like I said, kind of shut down and isolated for the good part of COVID. And, we have had meetings on Zoom, get-togethers, just to keep in touch and to let everybody know that, the chorus is still a thing. We're still around. But, it did kind of, we do, are having a bull roast to kind of get back on track with some things here. So, well, why don't we give us some more details about the bull roast? Of course, we know we're having beef, but is there anything else in the menu you want to tell us about?
Mike, I can go over the bull roast. We've been looking forward to it for a while. It's a bull and shrimp roast.
Mm-hmm.
We put a little bit of effort into when. We thought that it's a 1 to 5 in the afternoon, which makes it good for no night driving. It's a Saturday, so that the next day people don't have to get up and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Saturday, May 14th. It's from 1 to 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
The food will be served from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. It's located at Superior Catering Hall, 1010 South Oldham Street, down in Zone 24.
Mm-hmm.
It's easily accessible off of I-95. There will be a cash bar. The caterers asked us no bring your own bottle or no coolers, but we will have beer, soda, coffee, water.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be plenty to drink. And if you want something more than that, there is a cash bar. The music will be by DJ Laura. She's done things for us before. She's really good. She'll take requests. She'll, try to help as much as she can. Well, of course, we'll have the flour and the money wheels. But the menu probably is the highlight. As you mentioned, you have bull. We have pit beef, pit turkey breast, sweet Italian sausage, homemade shrimp soup, steamed shrimp, shrimp Creole, and then all the good sides that you look forward to. Whipped potatoes, sauerkraut, and kielbasa, sweet corn. And I'm getting hungry already.
I know.
I haven't had dinner either.
Oh my gosh, it sounds great. Now, and to get a hold of someone about tickets, the bull roast is $50,
Mm-hmm.
and the contact is Bob Mattis, Mattes, and his phone number is 410-435-1947. And he's taking care of our ticket sales for us.
Okay.
So it looks like it should be a good time. Of course, it's to benefit the chorus of the Chesapeake. And this is one of our fundraisers. We do a lot of singing for people as a charity or just to help. But once in a while, we do a fundraiser, and I think everyone's going to be happy with it.
I've been to them before, and they're always good. They're always good. You're not going to walk out of there hungry, and if you do, it's your own fault. And it's friendly. It's a good time. It's well worth coming. It's well worth coming. And heck, if you're a friend of somebody who's in the chorus, or if you just want to buy a ticket and come down and maybe meet some people, and if you're considering joining, it's a great opportunity to get in network and ask questions and everything. And I tell you one thing too, is that the people, all the singers, all the guys in the chorus are just more than happy to talk about it with people, to share their experiences and tell, what the chorus has meant to them and the things they've enjoyed about it over the years. And I think we have, I think just about everybody in the chorus, I would say, is a very good ambassador of the chorus, as well as being, a good singer too.
Right. I agree.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So I think that we've got pretty much all the questions answered on the bull roast. The only thing we do ask is that if you are interested, give Bob a call.
Mhm.
And we're selling, ticket sales are good.
Mhm.
We're just pretty much starting the sales, and we probably have a fourth of the tickets already sold.
Oh,
So
good,
we're happy with
good.
that. Plus the
Mhm.
50/50s, we're selling 50/50s, and we didn't know how that would go, but today I picked up, when we sell these, it'll make 3,000. So we're
Hey,
doing, we're doing great on 50/50 tickets.
well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. And the
Especially if
hall,
you win.
yep. You had mentioned the name of the hall, but is this hall the same one that used to be the old UAW hall, and it's off of O'Donnell? I think it's Oldham Street off of O'Donnell.
I believe it is. I
Yeah,
believe it is.
yeah,
Yes.
yep. So if you're an old school Baltimore guy, then
Yeah. It's M&M Catering, I believe, is
yeah.
the actual caterer.
Mhm.
And I think that the other thing that we also will have there are the typical things with the flower and money wheels, and we will sell 50/50s at the event as well. So if you don't get them directly now, we'll certainly have them there.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things I do want to mention, we will, now that we're getting within a couple months of the event, 2 months and a week, I guess,
Mhm.
we'll start posting all the information again on our Facebook page, the course Facebook page, our website,
Mhm.
and constant contact. So I'll be working with one of our technology geniuses and get him to put all the information out on that as well.
Right.
So eventually it will be on there.
Mhm.
But right now, the best way is, as Joe said, is to call Bob Mattis. May I give that number again?
Sure.
Mhm.
It's 410-435-1947. And Bob will be more than happy to take your orders.
Oh yeah, they always are. They always are. And I tell you, these, well, they're fun events, and every time I know. Speaking of selling tickets to things, I have a kind of an exposure to that when I was a kid. Because my grandfather was the ticket chairman for the spring or the May show every year. And I got to tell, I think I've told this story on the air before, but I'll tell you guys again. My grandfather had this manual method of selling tickets that could put Ticketmaster to shame. He had this dining room table, and he had all the tickets laid out in the shape of the floor plan of the lyric. Okay. And, we were not, that was the forbidden zone. He may as well put barbed wire and electric fences up for that room. We were not allowed in that room. We were not allowed to touch anything. Because Ken Lawton had his system. One time, my brother and I were horsing around. We ran in, somebody bumped the table, and a couple of tickets kind of slid. Woo! I tell you one thing. My grandfather was a pretty good-natured, very good-natured,
very even-tempered man.
Very good-tempered man, except for that day. And I tell you one thing. Woo, boy! I tell you, he let us know what for about that, and we were barred from the dining room until the day after Mother's Day.
the Sunday after the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. How about so you had mentioned having an annual show, and we've had the May show, of course, has been the tradition for, gosh, I can remember it as a kid. This is going back well into the 70s when I used to go to them when I was a young
even before
young
that,
kid.
Mike. Even before that. Yeah.
Yep. It was always, and they always kind of had like a tribute to mothers. One of the songs or something would always be a tribute to mom. Usually they would sing, "I Want a Girl Just Like the Girl That Married Dear Old Dad." And then there was usually a poem or something that was read with it. And that was usually the tradition there. But then there's also been some shows that have happened in the winter, in the fall, usually towards Thanksgiving or Christmas. I guess, what is that the plan for this year for the show?
Yeah, what we are tentatively planning
Mhm.
let me back up for a second, Mike.
Mhm.
Obviously, because we haven't been able to meet, we don't have the music in the shape it should be to actually do a show
Sure.
in the
Yeah.
spring.
Mhm.
So we have tentatively decided that we'll go with something in the fall.
Mhm.
And one of the venues that we like going to now, we have canceled it twice, unfortunately,
Mhm.
is Essex Community College.
Sure. Yeah.
The F. Scott Black Auditorium over there.
Mhm.
Well, anyhow, we have tentative arrangements to do something in December there. And Kevin King, our director, has already agreed that we could wrap it around a holiday music.
Mhm.
Some of the things that we do every year, and he even said we'll add some new things that we haven't done before. And one of the things, and Joe several years ago initiated this, was a connection with Toys for Tots. So we're definitely going to give serious thought to tying that in with this show in some capacity. We had a highly successful show in 2019 for Toys for Tots. What was it, Joe? Like 8 or 9 boxes of toys were collected.
It was.
And we also got
donation.
donations of $1,000. So we
Yes.
know it'll work if we could pull it off. And certainly that's the target right now. Now, having said that, there are other things that we're tentatively planning to do. We'll obviously sing at the Heritage Fair
Mhm.
over the 4th of July weekend, which is the Dundalk celebration of the 4th of July. And we tentatively have a date to sing the U.S. and Canadian anthems at an Oriole game on Monday, September 5th, which is Labor Day. And in the past, we've actually had guests join us. They
Mhm.
come to a couple of rehearsals and learn the 2 songs as best they can. We've actually gotten a few new members as a result of that over the years. So we just have to get ramped up right now to get our music up to snuff. And of course, as we have mentioned, this bull and shrimp roast is very important to us right now because we really haven't been able to do much in the last couple of years because of the virus.
Right.
So
Right.
kind of what we're headed right now.
Mhm. Well, that's wonderful that there's going to be an Oriole game, tentatively. I mean, because there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then.
Right.
The
We don't even
knock on
know if we're
wood,
gonna have a season.
that's very true right there too. But I've got to tell you that's one of my favorite things to do with the chorus is to sing at the Oriole game, because I tell you what, in recent seasons, I think we've gotten more applause than the Orioles. And
Yeah.
and even I think the last time we did it, I think was 19.
Yes.
The announcer, somebody was listening to the radio, because some people do that. They go to the Oriole game, but they listen to the radio for the play-by-play while they're watching.
Yeah.
And the announcer, whoever was doing the play-by-play for the radio, said, that's probably the best version of the national anthem he's ever heard performed. And that really says something. The voices, and I think there is a very strong sense of pride when we go out and sing those songs.
True.
Yep.
It's true.
Very true. And especially too, when we do our patriotic songs at the Heritage Fair as well.
Oh yeah.
A
What
lot
a reaction we get.
yeah, the reaction we get, and the thing is too is that we have a lot of former servicemen amongst us too, and those songs really bring out a sense of pride amongst them too. When we go especially when we do the Armed Forces medley, the medley
Service 5 medley. Yeah.
Yep. And every time whoever was in whatever branch of the art or military that we were singing about at that point, they always salute or something like that too. And that's always a lot of fun. And then people in the audience will stand up and salute if they served in that part of it too.
Yep.
Yep. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So guys, come on, man. We'd love to have you come join us on Tuesday nights, the every Tuesday, but the first one of the month down at Post 38 on Dundalk Avenue, American Legion Post 38. We have our rehearsals then, and we'd love to see you. We have a good time. It's really a good time. It's well worth checking out. There not only is it great music, it's great fellowship too. And I know, again, Bill, you've been around, a lot longer than Joe and I, but what are some of the fondest memories you have? And you've been through a lot of shows, you've been through a lot of events. Maybe if you could share just a couple of your fondest memories of the chorus, some things that you think others would enjoy if they came on board.
Well, I'll share two. Many years ago, probably in the 80s, Fred King was our director.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been, well, actually, it was a little bit later, but I had been sort of inactive because I was traveling so much for work. And one Sunday morning, and I think I've shared this with you before, Mike, one Sunday morning, I'm sitting at my office desk and my phone rang. And I thought, oh, geez, can I be left alone? Because I thought it was one of the people that I managed. And I picked up the phone and it was Fred King. And I was stunned. And I said, hi, Fred, how you doing? And he said, Billy, we need you. We were headed into a contest, and I made the decision at that very moment. I was coming back, and I wasn't ever going to stop coming.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did, I put the word out throughout the company. I work for a big corporation, Raw Hill.
Oh yeah.
And I put the word out with all the people that I work with. Don't ever call me on Tuesday night after 6 o'clock because I'm not going to be there. And I've been back ever since. I'm a past president of the chapter, and I functioned in this capacity, I guess for maybe 10 or 11 years, maybe even longer, which tells you the kind of commitment I have to the men in the chapter.
Sure.
The other experience I'll share was when I joined in 1981, my brother-in-law, Dick Dodds, had joined a little bit beforehand. And Dick is like a super bass.
Oh, yeah.
And I joined, and we made a pact that we wanted to get to the international championships once, just get there one time. And we waited until 2007, and we got there. And we sang in Denver, and what we did, and this is an all-time memory, and you could hear it on our CD. In the middle of the song, Rick Taylor was our director then. During the bridge of the song, he handed the directing reins to Fred King, who was singing baritone on the end.
And
he came out, and when he came out, that audience went nuts, right in the middle of our song. So we sang, it was Old Lang Syne.
Oh.
And we sang the song, and we had, we were realistic. We finished, I think, 14th or something like that, which was saying out of 700 chapters across the world. It was good. And I remember after that, I ran into the director of the St. Louis area chorus that I thought had won it. And the director's name was Jim Henry. And Jim walked past, and I said, Jim, I'm in the Dundalk chapter. I said, I think you guys won the contest. He said, well, maybe we did. He said, but you guys won the audience. And so those are two of many fond memories I have.
Yeah, that's something else. Would you want to share any memories too, Joe?
Well, my memories aren't quite that deep. And, my memories pretty much are the first time I was there and the feeling that I had when I left. And it's the kind of group, it's not really a memory, but we were talking, I was thinking of this. There's a lot of organizations you can join. Some of them have a purpose, some are just a bunch of guys. But if you like to sing, I can't think of a better organization to join, because not only do you have the feel with the other men, but you're doing something you really like to do.
Mhm.
And I think that wraps it up, because like I said, I've joined a lot of groups and I've left, and I just didn't feel at home. I feel
Mhm.
at home here.
Well, good. And I really think that's very true. That's very true. And a lot of other people feel
How,
that way
how
too.
about you, Mike? How
How
about
about
you?
me? Well, I think some of the things that I've enjoyed the most, it seems like, for a good while there, that every time I would come to rehearsal, I'd get another story about my grandfather. People realized, after a while, word kind of got around that, I was Ken Lawton's grandson. And people, just would come over and they'd say, "Oh God, I remember your grandfather. We did this together, or he did this for me. He helped me with this. I always remember him bringing his camper around, him and Bud Cruz. Um, I just remember all the good times we had. And I tell you, a couple of them said, "Man, your grandfather, now that was a barber shopper. That was a barber shopper." And that really makes me feel good, because I just kind of regret life didn't really allow me to have the opportunity to come join at the time. We all go through different phases in life where you have more free time than others. And,
Sorry about that.
I wish that, if I had, I just wish I had the opportunities, with time that I have now then, because I definitely would have done it. I definitely would have done it. Unfortunately, I think I'm the only musical grandchild that he had. The rest, everybody else was athletic. Actually, the rest of the family was athletic, and I was the only one who was musical or performing. And but that's really something too. And then also hearing, getting to meet some of the people, because I remembered. Here's something else I remember too. You just mentioned Rick Taylor a little while ago. I can remember going to those May shows as a kid, and I was in the audience, and I liked the music, but the thing that kind of kept the show going too was the humor. Of course, Fred King was a character. He was always up there doing something, to make the crowd laugh. But I remembered watching a quartet, and then I was sitting there and I was listening to Rick Taylor talk during a rehearsal one time, and I was like, wait a minute. And I put two and two together that he was this guy, because his quartet used to sing during the May show, and I remembered he was like the comedian of his quartet. He
Absolutely.
and he still is. He's the comedian of just about any quartet. And I remembered this joke that he would tell, and
Come on, Joe.
he would talk about he didn't know if I was in Baltimore or Baltimore. So I went to the restaurant and I asked the waitress, I said, "Could you tell me very slowly where I am?" And she looked at me and said, "Burger King." He used to tell that joke every year. And I was sitting in rehearsal one night and he said something. I was like, "That's the Burger King guy. That's the Burger King guy." And then what he also used to do too, and I've ripped this off during some of my band shows before, was the audience, whenever a quartet would come out and in between songs, everybody's cameras are flashing in the audience. And he would pull out a camera and take a picture of the audience. The flash would go off. I totally ripped that off. I don't know how many times over the years, playing and when I played music and stuff. So just getting to know the different people and hearing the stories again about my grandfather, the stories about Fred King. And I can remember too, as a kid, when the 4th of July, a lot of people would come to my grandfather's house because his home was right on the parade route through Dundalk. And then afterwards, a lot of people would always go to Bud Cruz's house to swim in the pool and have a cookout. And it was like barber shopper central, and then I go see those guys sing at the fair. So, those are some of the things that I've enjoyed. Of course, the national anthems, I really enjoyed the May show that we did at the Lyric. I think that was the last one we did at the Lyric a couple of years ago. And it meant a lot to me too, to be able to sing the songs of all the champions.
Oh
yeah. The winners of all the quartet competitions over the years, and the songs that the chorus sang during their championship years of 61 and 71. So, it's been a great experience for me. There's been a great experience for me. Do I still need some work? Yes, of course. But I think this is something that I've, I'm on to something that I've really enjoyed, and I just wish I was, my grandfather was still alive, that I could share it with him. But, I think that, I think he would have wanted me to experience this either with or without him,
Yep.
Yep. So great. So, well, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead one more time before we wrap up here? This is what I call, for all of my guests, the shameless plug portion of the evening. You may shamelessly plug anything and be as shameless as you want, with no shamelessness spared. So, Joe, if you want to give just some details on how to get bull roast tickets and everything, go right ahead.
Will do. Well, first off, we'd love to have you join us. We're having a bull and shrimp roast. It's on Saturday, May 14th from 1 to 5 p.m. at Superior Catering Hall, 1010 South Oldham Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. We have a full menu of beef and shrimp. And with the shrimp, we have homemade shrimp soup, steamed shrimp. We have shrimp Creole. We have pit beef, pit turkey, sweet Italian sausage, and then all the nice sides, the whipped potatoes, the sauerkraut and kielbasa, sweet corn casserole, creamy coleslaw, creamy Caesar salad. And we have, for drinks, we have beer, soda, coffee, and water. Now, there will be a cash bar. The caterer has requested, do not bring your own booze, and there's no coolers. That we will have music by DJ Laura. We'll have flour and money wheels.
Mm-hmm.
4 tickets, they're $50 each, and we ask you to contact Bob Mattis at 410-435-1947. So, that tells you a little bit about the function. I can tell you the people that attend are a lot of fun. They're very friendly, and we'll have a good time.
Great. And, Bill, some of the other things that you had mentioned, I guess once they're written in stone, they'll be on www.dundalk.org. That is right. The choruses, because the chorus of the Chesapeake is the Dundalk chapter of the Barbershop Harmony Society. So the website is dundalk.org. And that's where the chorus of the Chesapeake, all the details can be found, and information on upcoming shows and everything too. Yep. Well, great. Well, guys, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have my barbershop brothers join me on Fowl Players Radio. And you know what you got to do? You got to hit Mike Dells up, because he's a podcaster too. And he has a show, a very good show that I've been a guest on, and he's been a guest on here too. So you got to hit him up and find a time where you can go on there and cross promote.
We will. All right, I'll get in touch with Mike.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
Good. Well, one thing I'd like to say, if anyone has heard our broadcast tonight and they're interested in the bull roast, when you call Bob, let him know where you heard about the bull roast. We'd like to, to know where you heard it. It gives us an idea of where people listen to us, and I think it'll be a good thing for us and the station.
Yeah. And another thing too is that if you would like to hear the chorus, there are a boatload of videos on YouTube from the competitions and the concerts and everything for you to listen to, and they're good. They're good
shows. Yeah. Good shows.
Definitely.
Yeah,
so all right. So Bill and Joe, thank you again for coming by. Folks, the chorus of the Chesapeake, come check them out. Come join them and sing with them. come have some beef.
Thank you.
Beef and some good fellowship and everything. And we will see you next time.
Thanks, Mike. Good night.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mike.
guys.